What's up, guys? This is Tristan, aka Young Pressure. Today, we're talking about the 5 reasons why I decided to not do the full time 9 to 5. Even though I got a finance degree in 4 years, I had some financial opportunities to go and take that W 2, but I decided not to do it. So, let's get into these 5 reasons. Number one, it didn't make sense to get a business degree and not start a business. That didn't comprehend in my brain. All the time when I was in college, I was like, we're going to start a business. I don't know what the business particularly will be, but we're going to start a business. If I get a business degree, why would I work for someone else's asset? That just didn't make sense. It didn't click to me. It was blasphemous in my mind to even think about working for someone else. So, with the business degree and learning about business and reading all these business books, I decided that was probably a better route, as it just made a lot more sense to me. And number two is that a business has way more potential than a W-2 and has the ability to compound much faster and much bigger than a W-2. So I knew this. I knew that a business can compound a lot faster than a W-2, because if you look at it, people are like, oh, I just got this raise, and it's like a 5% raise, and it's basically just like equaling out inflation. They're really not even making they're basically making the same amount. And in a business structure, you have the ability to compound much faster, especially if you know what you're doing. Let me turn that off. So knowing that, it was just an easier leap of faith to take the risk, especially out of RIP. I knew ultimately as a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, that I wanted to take a risk, and that it was okay to take an early risk in my 20s. And I knew as if I went to the 9 to 5, it would be hard to maneuver out of that, as you invest a ton of time and a ton of just sweat and blood, sweat, and tears into your W-2 just to get a small promotion, and that just didn't fit well with me. Number 3 is if you get fired from your W-2, your income goes to zero. It goes to zero. You don't have an asset. Obviously, you have your investments and stuff, but as a young guy, like, you probably aren't going to have like fully developed assets for you. So going into a business structure, it just made sense to invest more into your own asset and develop a greater good asset that is compounding more so than taking the risk at a W-2. I thought the W-2 was a bigger risk than creating a business. Just the fact that they can fire you at any second, and then you have literally no money coming in, when you could literally develop an asset or a business that can continually keep compounding and make money for itself in the long way. It just made much more sense. Number 4 is it's just not as fun either to be at a W-2 type of being zombified in your emotions, and I see people's souls sucked out of them whenever I talk to them now. People that had an electrifying personality, an electric atmosphere, aroma, persona when talking to them, and now their eyes, their body posture is zombified because they have been accustomed to the W-2 and doing this. There's a SpongeBob episode where Squidward does the same thing over and over and over again. He's like, well, I don't feel like doing this today. And then he gets like a leaf blower, and he recognizes that he's in a repetitive cycle. And in that W-2, there's so many repetitive cycles that you're just basically flying on autopilot and in auto mode. And that's not fun. It's actually scary to me. It's actually genuinely scary to me. So with being in building a business, it requires critical thinking. It requires a ton of problem solving. It's basically a puzzle every single time you go out there. And I think you just got to grow a little bit more too as running and operating your own asset. So number 5, it leads to that. It just doesn't fit my personality. And in my personality, I played college baseball. I took a risk on myself in high school. And this was probably the biggest and best risk that I took on myself, was playing junior college baseball and going and taking a risk on myself to basically level up from there. And it started at an early age, just being able to take risks on yourself and on your career at a very early age and recognize that and put everything on the line. And that fits my personality for starting a business. It's you've got to have kind of a personality for it, and you've got to have a charisma or persona about you to start it. And the W-2 just didn't fit me. I don't like being bossed around. I don't like having to do orders from a boss. I like to boss up. So that's why I chose it. And that's why I didn't want to use my finance degree. And even if, say, you get a six-figure finance job out of college, you are still stuck there and still stuck in a repetitive, lifeless mode. For me, that's just not enough to basically dissipate my entire vibrancy in life out of me. It's just not enough. So I would way rather build my own asset. And guys, that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, if that informed you, and just get a little bit of my perspective on why I wanted to start a business instead of do the W-2 route at a very early age. I'm 24. I'm still in this journey. And if you have any questions about a new endeavor that you may be having, I'll gladly answer it for you. And if you like this type of content, here's another video that's very similar to this. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Peace out. Let's go get this money today, guys. Let's go get it.